you guys have heard, we have pushed our October 1st departure back a little bit to October 16th. So here we are. More projects. Why are we flipping the boat around? Well, we'll show you. We went to the pump out station and both of our tanks are empty, and we did that because the most important thing is we needed to flip the boat around. But on the bright side, our bathroom is put back to order. Everything looks good. Connor's epoxy look, we're a little bummed out because epoxy expands, and so that little crack has turned into a bigger crack, but that's all right. Now that we're flipped around, let's go see what we're doing out there. I feel like we've been here before, but we were doing davits. Connor backed her up real nice and easy. And let's go see what he's doing over there. What are you doing? My tape!
You ruined it.
Why are you ruining it?
All the paint came off.
Oh no! Uh-oh. I guess we're gonna have to stick the new one on. So, if you guys remember, we put the side ones on and we opted for black. Right, we got our Livo out with the blue, in with the black. But unfortunately, it took out some of the paint. Sad.
Yeah, I thought that was adhesive for a little bit, and then I was like, oh no, it's actually paint. She's gone. No more title. Connor, you're getting all ready to do the backstay. Tighten it up right now. Yeah. Right, it's time to start the drilling. The last holes we're gonna be drilling, hopefully, in this boat for a little while at least. So to prepare that, this, you know, has a little bit of a curve here, right? Had to sand this down right here to kind of try and get that curve going. I used this little guy and it worked great, and just kind of back and forth. I don't know why there's a bolt here, but there is. So hit a little bolt head, had to sand that off too, but it's all fitting up snug now, so time to cinch down and start drilling. We had to find the center line here, and I was looking at this side, and there's too many curves and it's way too hard to measure from side to side. So what we ended up doing is dropping that chalk line. My lovely assistant dropped it down to me and held it on the center of this pin here. Just dropped it down through that hole. Snapped this down where our pilot hole was from the center of the existing chain plate, and then snap it all the way down. Now we got a good center line. Hopefully, it's a good build.
Oh, was it? I thought it was like supposed to be on the right side. Center. We are very
she's
centered.
very centered. She's done lots of yogurt. Get centered. Yep.
Mykonor's back at it again.
Hey.
What you doing? You just missing land so much that you're just hugging those dock?
I'm scared. I don't want to leave the dock.
Yeah, he really likes this cement right here. No, what are you working on?
Finally drilling these final holes, hopefully.
Hopefully
these are the last holes we'll have to drill for a while. Slash
holes that we'll ever get on the boat.
Yeah. This one's way more difficult than the others because it's all inverted like this. This is the backstay chain plate. And so I'm trying to use this drill guide again. I think what I'm gonna have to do on this also is I'm gonna drill a 1/4 inch hole, then I'm gonna bolt that through, because this chain plate wants to keep falling down, so it doesn't really sit like the other ones did. So I'm going to bolt that through to hold the plate up there. Then I'll use the chain plate as the pilot, kinda. Hopefully that works. Kinda coming up with better ideas now, I think. After all the work we've done.
Nice job, babe.
Professional now.
Oh, excuse me, I just got done drilling.
All the holes. Good job.
Why you just leave me in the sun to do all this hard work on my own?
You came out as soon as the sun went away. And the work was done.
Actually lovely out here. Yeah, Connor just got done drilling these 3 holes. I did not help one bit. But I also asked him about 1,000,000 times and he was like, I really wanted to do it on his own. So to each their own. So while I was sitting here observing his holes.
They're all crooked.
Wondering why I let him do this in the first place. I just noticed that yesterday when we peeled Oceanside and Alivo off, it's just a bunch of sticky adhesive.
Sticky and missing paint.
So we're just gonna take at least this off, and we're super sad to see all this paint got annihilated. It was pretty bad back here to begin with, even before we put the original decal. I think the previous owner, when he took off the name that it was originally named Victoria, he didn't do a very good job. I think he also tore some paint off and then he repainted it, and I don't know what happened in the meantime, but it was chipped and not great. So one day, if there's someone willing to give us some paint and help us out, we will totally repaint this one day. But right now, we barely have money to sail out of here. So right now, it looks great. We're just gonna leave it like that. Connor always says, we're not here for fashion. This is just aesthetic. It's not making us sail slower or isn't sinking the boat. So do we really care?
I think not.
I think not. So we're gonna just spit on it, call it good. Okay, but what we were really doing, I just got sidetracked per usual. We are
taping.
If you watched our last YouTube video of how to install external chain plates in 10 steps, you can check that video out and it will give you all the steps you need. But first and foremost, we're gonna do this for our last chain plate.
I think down that hole where the chain plate comes through the deck, I'm going to epoxy that. Might be easier to do the 4000 up there and just kind of fill it with goo, but I think I'm going to try and dump some epoxy down there, and then we'll kind of hit the top and the bottom probably with some 4000 also, but the epoxy hopefully will keep it from getting fully stuck in there, because even though we do want it secured in there, we also want it to be able to be removed so we can inspect it at some later date.
Hi, Zorro here.
Yes, continue.
I got a lot of pokies in my tush.
Why?
Because you drilled out all the shavings, and the shavings always fun in my tush.
Maybe you need longer shorts. I thought we gave you work pants. What happened?
Here we go. Here we go, mate. We did not record this in our last video, but to clean the chain plate off, I'm just using vinegar and a rag. Since when Connor was drilling the chain plate holes through, he would dip his drill bit in some oil. So we just want to make sure all of that is off. So I'm just gonna rag it down, wipe it down with vinegar, then we're gonna wipe it down with water, let it dry off, and then we're gonna tape it off so it's ready for that 4000 and to kiss the side of the boat. And we're all taped off here and sanded down, ready for action, boss.
All right.
On further investigation,
We have to take things apart again.
we just have to sometimes take things apart to be able to get to them. So Connor just took the whole locker hatch off. Now he has all the space in the world.
No, it's gonna hit still. can get some of it, but I'm gonna need a bigger cutoff wheel still. Ay.
Connor just went to Home Depot.
Pick up some dangerous stuff.
Brought out the big guns.
Look, it's right by my finger right there. It's pretty fun. And this had to be this big just because with the 6-inch one that I had, it was hitting the top of the grinder right here. So the 7-inch just gets me past that, but it also gets me kind of on here. So we're just gonna go for it and we'll see how it goes.
Be careful. What did you just ask for?
Where's my gloves?
Safety?
Safety glasses.
Yay.
Look at these. Safety glasses and gloves.
He's got all the safety checklists today.
Really the proper gloves for this kind of work, but
You were so organized here with all your toes.
You see that?
Oh, very
I knew
organized.
exactly where my gloves were. Only because I have 20 pairs. Let's do this.
Oh God.
Even with that big blade, I was running into it, so I had to kind of grind away as much as I could and then bang that up with a hammer. Still very strong, even with just a little tenth of it hanging on. Well, I know we already celebrated, but we are now officially done with all the chain plates. We just celebrated the first 6 last time. We'll have another celebration tonight. I'm gonna have a beer right now, actually. Look at her making it all pretty down there. Why is it all white, babe?
You didn't want it white. You said you wanted it white. Did our communication get mixed up?
It's not paint, babe. That's caulk. Look how thick that is. Those are 4-inch bolts there, and it barely made it through, so I'm glad I went with the 4-inch. I was tempted to do 3.5, so I wouldn't have to cut the inside ones, but phew! Phew-wee! Anyways, pretty stoked.
Last thing now that these are done, I was kind of dilly-dallying waiting to see if this would actually be finished today, but time to chat with the Lord of the Slips to let him know it's time to sail away.
Yep. It's been real. It's been fun. Hasn't been real fun. So we're out of here.
We made this list a while ago and it feels really good to see that there's so many check marks because it was very empty and it was very overwhelming, but one at a time. Head parts came in, so we finished the head and we installed the bidet. Replaced the forestay. Check, check, check. Backstay is the only one that we still need to do, but we already did the chain plate on the backstay. It's just the rigging. We got the standing rigging done. The chain plates are all cut, and the water maker panel still needs to be mounted. Now, of course, when you make one list, and we started making another list because there's a few other things that we are taking into consideration. Yeah, I really like lists. What have you been doing today?
Just playing with epoxy this morning.
Your favorite?
My favorite. So I didn't really want to fill all those big gaps, and you might remember from yesterday. We had some fairly decent sized gaps on the side here and wherever where I had to kind of bore that out to get that chain plate in. So instead I filled it with some, what is it, 410. I mixed it all up a little bit light so it would kind of self-level. Put it in a little bag and squeezed it in there after it was all taped off. And you can see here, I'll show you guys. Come with me. I even was able to get it on the back side of here, so that should be all filled in and nice. And I'm just waiting for it to dry a little bit and then taking the tape off while it's still semi-wet, because we've tried on other projects to rip it off after the epoxy's already dry, and it just kind of makes a mess and the tape sticks under it and everything because it's a little too rigid. So that's that.
Learning from our mistakes.
Yay! And I got pretty lucky with the consistency on this one. It's kind of self-leveling inside the gap here, staying, it looks like just above the little tow rail right here. So that's gonna keep the water from kind of piling up in there. And then I just went around all the other chain plates and filled in all the little gaps. And maybe, you know, if that shrinks up, we might end up adding sealant in there too. But there's nothing really too worrisome about that area. That's all just fiberglass, and I guess maybe some of it could go in where the old chain plates were glassed into the hole, but no worse than it was already, so we should be chilling.
We are definitely not looking any cleaner today, but on the bright side, I think, pretty sure after today, we can start the cleaning process, right, Con?
I think so, actually. How excited are you?
Finally, extension cords can be put away. Everything that's up closer to the bow can go back into the aft locker. And back stay, time to connect you. Connor's suited up, no 80s style today, just good old jeans.
Jeans. I got my spreader boots hanging.
Oh yeah, where are they? Little booties.
I didn't want to fill up my pouch, so
Smart.
Yeah, that'll do, I think.
Alright.
We're gonna secure the spreaders. On the last one, they had hose clamps around the rigging, trying to keep the spreader from falling. And I noticed on the old rigging that there is corrosion.
Another day, another trip up the mast. There's my man. Tickle, 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 tickle. Connor's crushing it. We got the backstay up. He reinforced the spreader with seizing wire. Yeah, seizing wire. And now he's putting some little booties on a live. I don't know if you can see that.
Protect our head sail.
Yeah, protect the sail.
Alright, bring me down.
Twerking or what's
I
happening?
literally cannot feel
He cannot walk.
Oh, that's why you get a bosun's chair. This is not great to hang from. I tried to get the one that they... Oh my gosh, I'm gonna fall over.
Take a seat.
That they use for filming rock climbing and stuff, because those guys are usually on the harness for a long time, but yeah, I don't recommend this. Whoa, that was weird. My legs are just involuntarily moving right now. So after we installed this PSS shaft seal, I realized when we were heeled over one time that the water, on these ones you have to have a water line that goes above the water line, so it's constantly kind of staying wet but not, I guess this kind of bleeds out the air bubbles, right? So there's always going to be water in that shaft seal to kind of cool it down. I noticed that this is a couple feet too short when we were heeled over because the water was almost coming out the top of it. I had it in the engine room and it was just maybe a foot above the water line. So it's time to replace this hose with a longer one, since we might hit a lot bigger storms than what we've hit so far and be a lot more heeled over. Sounds like a simple enough project, except for that is open to the water right now. So as soon as I drop this hose that's connected to it, either below the water line or take this off, we're going to get water squirting up. So it's a little bit time sensitive, so I thought I would include you guys because that's fun. We're going to need to make sure that the other side of this hose is taller than the water line, so once I do hook it up, it's not leaking out over there.
You love tight spaces, huh?
This is my favorite position on the hard floor.
Okay, let me get in here.
So this is below the water line and there is no valve there. So we're gonna get a little messy here, and I'm just hoping that this fits on there. Otherwise we're going down, baby.
Did it work?
Easy peasy. Get in there, folks. We can all come along for the ride.
That is the ride. Good job.
Thanks. Now just gotta tighten up them hose clamps and hopefully we don't sink.
Oh, good morning. Just another day where I still cannot convince Connor that we need to clean this deck.
I thought we were gonna put the boat back together today, but then...
Let me guess, you thought of a new project. Are we ever going to get out of here? We have 10 more days before we have to leave, and this is the conditions we're in. You think we'd be just like laying here with a clean boat, legs up, cocktail in hand,
No.
thinking about our route and our plans and anything? No.
That's no fun at all. Yes, we are taking out the the single sideband little frames here today. We're reorganizing the cockpit and we are going to, not the cockpit, the dinker lock. Aft locker?
The aft
what
locker.
What are we calling this thing?
The aft locker. I just say locker.
Locker. And routing these solar cables up a little bit closer to here. I really don't like them back here with the anchor coming back here and with the dinghy swinging around back here. This is a good little temporary fix, but we're gonna run one of these little Blue Sea Systems cable clamps and put that about right there, just like that, and then run the cables up through there. Unfortunately, these are kind of for a single cable. I don't know what people do for these kind of cables, because if you ran the Romex or whatever straight up through there, then the water's going to get down in through the sheathing here. So I think my plan is to drill 2 smaller holes through the little rubber fitting here and poke those through, and we'll just run individual cables up through there. And that's that, folks.
And while Connor works there, we just clean this up, buffed it out, put some vinegar water and washed the buffing agent off, and then soapy water to clean it up. And now we're gonna put a LIVO on it, and we're just trying to figure out what to do with the eye, because with the new chain plate, we're thinking we're gonna put the eye right there. We'll see how it goes. So currently just cut the eye out, and then we're gonna keep this Alvo together. We're gonna kind of put it up and over the chain plate, and so the dock can be right over that, and then hopefully we can still kind of cut this to fit it right on top of the chain plate.
Look at this gal just designing our...
First try, just stapled it, well, just taped it up there, not stapled.
Slapped it up there.
Slapped it up there, and I kind of like it. I mean, we still have the eye, and we're trying to decide.
We got lucky we picked the right name, right?
Yeah.
If we would have picked any other name that didn't have an eye in the center, we would be confusing.
I think the Oceanside's a little cockeye still, just like the last Oceanside I had.
She just likes making Oceanside crooked. Oceanside is kind of a crooked town, you know?
Yeah.
Looking good.
Alright, we're gonna cover you up. So first we use a bunch of tape to kind of get the corners, the bottom edges and top edges and sides, kind of know where to position this. And now I'm flattening it out and just kind of pressing this down with a squeegee, like making sure it's nice and sticking on. So just pressing really hard and just kind of going back and forth as quickly as I can. And then we'll peel this off, put some soapy water in the boat. So we'll spray it down with, it's a mix of about 32 ounces of water and a teaspoon and a half or so of dish liquid. And we'll put a huge thick layer, wet layer on, and then we'll glue it on. We changed our mind. We don't want to be a Livo anymore. We want to be Al. L-I.
Nicknames.
Al.
Allie.
Allie. The worst part. Scary.
It's fun. The soap makes it fairly easy because you can slide it around once you set it. How'd she look?
So pretty good. No, I'm just kidding.
Pretty groovy.
Pretty perfect and groovy, just like us. I see you, baby. With that big bow. With a big bow.
Custom vinyl decals.
Yeah, look at that. We may just keep the eye as is because we kind of like it, but we'll see once we peel it all off. I think I'm gonna squeegee the ocean side, and then we will let it dry in the sun for a little bit. Maybe like an hour or two is what they recommend, and then see how we feel just leaving the chain, because it's just such a shiny new chain plate. Might as well just keep it nice and shiny. The biggest eye I've ever seen. You guys are now required to call us Alive-o.
Alive, alive,
Alive-o. The end. All right, last minute edition. I caved, I added the eye. We'll see if that stays on the stainless steel, but I had to cut it up a little bit, but
I don't know.
But I don't care. It's gonna look amazing. When you got a little extra left, with the eye that was left behind, I'm gonna stick a little smiley face. Connor's gonna love it. Are you excited to see the surprise? I don't know if you guys heard that, ladies and gentlemen. He said, can't freaking wait, with so much enthusiasm. All right, guys, I think it's time. We are losing it inside and above. This whole entire boat is wickedly messy. So sometimes when I can't handle the craziness, you just go outside and you find some small wins, even if they're as small as this. Gotta count your blessings. We're on the home stretch. We have 10 days. I feel like we've said this before because we thought we were leaving in October, but it's officially 10 days.
And then
I had Thanks everyone for following along, and if you're like us and want to view our episodes without advertisement, check out Alive-o Sailing on Patreon. You have the option to join our community who enjoys ad-free content and other ways of connecting with us. Once you're on Patreon, you can click memberships where it'll take you to the 3 tiers we offer. We offer the Happy Hour Mate, the Weekend Cruiser, and also the Live Aboard. This is a brand new addition we started to explore, so give us a holler if there are features you would like to see, and let's grow this Livo community. Thanks, y'all. Now go seize the day.